Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to sift through information, pull out the key insights, and, well, get you up to speed.
Exactly. And today, we're diving into television.
Right, television as a mass medium. We've got a stack of texts here, and our mission really is to unpack what makes TV TV. You know, its core features, how it's made, the kinds of shows, how it actually communicates.
Yeah, and it's fundamentally audiovisual, isn't it? Moving color images, sound, speech, music. It all comes together.
Uh-huh. The sources really stress that, how it pulls you in.
It really does. Creates this powerful draw, sometimes almost isolating you from what's immediately around you.
Okay, so this audiovisual thing, optico-acoustique, as one source puts it, it seems obvious seeing and hearing, but it's the combination that's powerful.
Precisely. It's not just additive. It creates a more, let's say, comprehensive information stream. Sight and sound together are more effective for mass communication.
And making that happen sounds like a huge undertaking compared to, say, radio.
Oh, absolutely. Far more demanding. You need camera crews, sound engineers, lighting technicians.
All the tech people.
Yeah, loads of them. Plus the creative side writers, directors, actors. It's a massive team effort for just one show sometimes.
Wow. Okay, so what are they actually broadcasting? What's a television-y program?
Well, the texts define it as a structured sequence, a collection of individual television expressions, broadcast one after another,
Yeah.
like the whole evening's lineup on a channel.
Got it. And those individual expressions are the relacy, the shows.
Exactly. News, sports, current affairs, documentaries, educational stuff, entertainment, music,
Advertising, can't forget that.
definitely advertising. And these shows can be originals made by the station, or adaptations, or just bought in from elsewhere.
So television acts as both a creator and a broadcaster.
That's a key point. This dual role means it needs, well, serious money, significant financial capital for production, plus the whole technological setup for broadcasting.
And why do all this? What are the functions? It's not just background noise.
Not at all. The sources list quite a few. Zabavna entertainment, obviously.
Okay, big one.
Yeah. But also informativna, keeping us informed. Vyzilevasha, education. Relaxacha, helping us unwind.
Okay.
Then there's umaleka, artistic expression. Komaroncha, the commercial side. And even vichovna,
Vichovna, like upbringing. Or maybe shaping values?
something like that. It suggests a role in perhaps conveying societal norms or educating in a broader sense, a wide range.
It really shows how embedded television has become in society, fulfilling all these different roles.
Definitely. It's not just passive viewing. It actively shapes understanding, culture, maybe even values to some extent.
Okay, let's get into the real specifics, the defining characteristics. First up, audiovisual noso. We touched on it, but this blend of sound and image is like the core identity.
It really is. The sources frame it as the most effective means we have for mass communication. Think about explaining something complex with just audio versus showing it.
Yeah, the image adds immediacy, impact.
Totally. It's just incredibly efficient at conveying certain kinds of information.
Then there's simultaneoso, simultaneity, broadcasting events live as they happen.
Right, like watching a big football match live or breaking news unfolding. It connects potentially millions of people to the same event at the same time.
That creates a real sense of shared experience, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. That liveness is a unique power of broadcasting. It fosters a connection even across huge distances.
And that ties into actualnoso, the focus on what's current, what's happening now.
Exactly. Television often puts itself right at the center of current events, making it feel relevant, immediate.
Okay, what else? Periodicita?
Periodicity, the regular scheduling. You know, your favorite show is on Tuesdays at 8.
Creates routine, anticipation.
Builds loyalty, integrates TV viewing into daily life for a lot of people.
And authenticoso, authenticity.
Yeah, this is about the perceived credibility, especially for news or documentaries. We tend to think seeing is believing.
That's a powerful perception.
It is crucial for TV's influence, especially journalism. Though, of course, we have to remember all media is constructed, even a news report.
Good point. Then the specifice virazove prostredki, the specific tools TV uses.
Right. The moving images themselves, the spoken language, and thinking about sound, the music, the tone of voice, the intonation.
These are the building blocks for telling stories or conveying info on TV.
Absolutely. How they're combined creates this rich, multi-layered communication, engages you intellectually, emotionally.
And here's that principle I found really interesting. Tu, J video, netur bahavorio. what you see doesn't need to be said.
Ah, yes, that's fundamental. It's about visual economy.
Like if someone looks sad on screen, you don't need a narrator saying she felt sad. The image does the work.
Exactly. Good television leverages the power of the image, avoids redundant chatter, makes it more immersive.
We should probably touch on the history briefly. Globally, around 1935.
Roughly, yeah. And in Czechoslovakia, the sources say 1953 and 1956.
And now, like in Slovakia, you have public service broadcasters alongside commercial ones, all under specific regulations like the Media Services Act mentioned.
Right. Understanding that history and the regulatory environment gives important context for how TV operates today.
So, circling back again, TV as a mass medium relies fundamentally on both audio and visual information transfer.
That optico-acoustic or audiovisual
Mhm.
nature, yeah. It's stressed repeatedly. Sight and sound delivering comprehensive information.
But that immersive quality, it demands your attention, right? It's not like radio you can easily have on while, I don't know, cooking a complex meal.
That's a good point. It often requires concentration, which can, as we noted earlier, lead to a kind of isolation from your physical surroundings while you're watching. You tune out the room to tune into the screen.
Those functions keep popping up. Informative, educational, recreational.
Regulative, awareness-raising, advertising, artistic. It's a long list.
It really underscores how deeply TV is woven into modern life.
No question. It touches so many different aspects.
Let's talk about the production side again, the technical demands. Lighting, power.
Oh, yeah, huge requirements.
Yeah.
Cameras need proper visibility, so lighting is crucial. The equipment can draw a lot of power, and the recording quality itself is sensitive.
Sensitive to what?
Lots of things. Lighting changes, sound interference, camera stability. Getting that high-quality recording needs real care.
And then syncing the picture and sound perfectly.
Absolutely critical. If the audio lags or leads the video even slightly, it's incredibly distracting, breaks the illusion completely.
And just getting the signal out there sounds complex and pricey.
Very. Signal transmission infrastructure, achieving wide territorial coverage that requires massive investment in equipment and networks.
Even the TV set in your home has constraints. Where you put it, how small the screen can realistically get.
Right. You need a screen big enough for comfortable viewing, which limits miniaturization in some ways.
It's funny, portable TVs never really took off like portable radios did.
Probably a mix of things. Screen size practicality, battery life back then, viewing conditions. Radio is just inherently more portable.
And you generally have fewer TV channels available than radio stations, right?
Typically, yes.
Yeah.
Radio signals just take up much more bandwidth than audio, so you can fit fewer TV channels into the available spectrum compared to radio.
Okay, so let's quickly recap those core characteristics again. Universality.
Documentariness, or that feeling of capturing reality.
Broad reach, regional, national, global.
Public character, diverse content.
Maybe a bit less immediate than some other media for breaking news.
And maybe a greater psychological distance from the original source sometimes.
So putting it all together, it's a picture of a hugely influential medium.
Absolutely. Reaching vast audiences with all sorts of content. Though those points about immediacy and distance are interesting to think about now in the digital age.
Okay, let's zoom in on the televisiony program again. That structured sequence of shows.
A curated flow of content the channel presents.
And the types of shows, the relacy, it's such a wide mix. News, sports, documentaries.
Current affairs, educational, entertainment, music, drama, adaptations, ads, mixed formats too. Really comprehensive.
It shows how TV tries to cater to pretty much everyone, fulfilling all those functions we talked about.
Informing, entertaining, educating, selling.
Yeah.
And we have to keep remembering the TV institution itself creating and broadcasting, needing that money and tech.
That dual role is fundamental, producer and distributor.
So let's break down TV communication. The obrazova zvuková rovina, the visual sound plane. That's the base level.
Yeah, how it engages our senses.
Starting with the pohyblivý obraz, the moving image, dynamic, not static.
Key for showing action, narratives unfolding.
And the basic unit is the zaber, the shot. And there are rules for putting these together. Editing rules.
Oh, definitely. How shots are framed, composed, and especially how they're cut together that dictates the rhythm, the flow, the meaning of what you see. It's a whole language.
And shots can include other things too, like titles, maps, graphs, symbolic signs, yeah. Titles, maps, charts, photos. They add layers of information, clarify things, provide context visually.
Okay, then the hoverenaresh, the spoken language. Lots of forms here.
From monologues, like a news anchor,
To dialogues like reporters chatting,
Combined speech, like voiceover on footage.
improvised stuff in live broadcasts,
Partially prepared, like interviews or discussions.
and fully scripted things like news introductions. A real spectrum.
And each form is tailored to the purpose, right? Delivering facts, having a discussion, narrating visuals.
Now, back to those principles for making TV text, that what is seen doesn't need to be spoken idea again.
It keeps coming up because it's so central. Leverage the image. Don't just describe what people can already see.
And the other one was Visnamowe dopoujenie, semantic supplementation.
Right. How the words, the music, the sound effects, the images, how they all complement each other.
They work together to create a meaning that's richer than any one part alone.
Exactly. That synergy is what makes TV so immersive and powerful. Each bit adds to the whole message.
And the point that TV texts are for listening, not reading, that feels important for how it's written.
Hugely important. It means simpler sentence structures, clearer language, maybe more repetition than written text. It has to be understood auditorily, on the fly.
Which leads to the final criteria for good TV writing. Clarity.
Zrozumiałość, yeah. Easy to understand.
Unambiguity.
Jednoznaczność.
Avoid confusion.
And the words should connect the images, strengthen the link between shots.
Right. The language guides the viewer through the visuals, reinforces the connections, makes sure the intended meaning lands.
So wrapping up this deep dive, wow, there's a lot going on behind that screen.
There really is.
The audiovisual power, the massive production effort, the sheer variety of shows, the specific ways it communicates. It's complex.
Definitely multifaceted.
And hopefully for you listening, exploring things like visual economy show, Don't Just Tell, and how sound and image interplay gives a richer perspective on the TV we watch every day.
Yeah, and it leaves us with a big question, doesn't it? Thinking about how media keeps evolving so fast.
Well, how do these core TV characteristics we've discussed, the audiovisual nature, periodicity, the focus on visuals, how do they continue to shape how we get information and entertainment now in this digital on-demand age?
Right, what parts of old school TV are still dominant?
Exactly. And what's being fundamentally changed or replaced by streaming, social media, and everything else. It's fascinating to think about where it's all heading.